Hi there, I'm Jeannette, stampingwithsapphiandme.com. I've got a lovely little project to show you today, and this one comes from our very new autumn-winter catalogue. Let me just show you inside the stamp set we're going to be using today, and it's also got a coordinating punch with it. The stamp set is called it's this one actually, Merry Little Labels. And it also comes with an everyday label punch, and it punches these out beautifully. Now, the other thing that caught my eye in this catalogue, if I turn the page over, it's this stunning little, cute little stocking, and it also makes up a little pillow box. Now that really caught my eye simply because pre-Stampin' Up, when I didn't have that many crafting items, I didn't have a big shot, which you do need a big shot to make this item. You get all these beautiful little details here, they're thin dies. I learned to make my own, and that is what I'm going to show you today, because I know the big shot actually is quite an expensive item to buy, so it's something you probably purchase maybe at Christmas or birthdays or things like that. So I just wanted to show you how you can actually make it without using this die. So let's get started. Let me show you actually. I've made a couple, as you can see. This one is in Berry Burst. This one is Lemon Lime Twist. And they're so super cute. They open up, and inside is also a little matching envelope, and inside that envelope you can pop a gift card if you like, or a voucher, or even money fits quite nicely in that as well. Other than that, you can fit chocolate, sweeties, anything in there. So let me get on and make it. I've actually made 4. I've made one in the Berry Burst, I've made one in the Lemon and Lime Twist. I'll pop those out of the way for a second. Powder Pink, looking cute, and Tranquil Tide. So the one that's remaining is my favourite colour actually, it's Fresh Fig. So that's the one we're going to do today, and I'm going to show you how to do this from scratch. It is so easy to do, and you can actually make these in any size you like. Which is the beauty of making your own, really. So let me just pop those to one side and bring in the bits and pieces that we're going to need to make the little pillow box. So I've just got, and the beautiful thing is, and the reason I've made it this size for you today is because it's using 6x6 bit of paper. So you can get 4 out of a sheet of 12 by 12, or a lot of Stampin' Up DSP comes 6x6 anyway. And then if you're going to make the envelope as well, if you're wanting it for a gift card and you want to make the envelope, then that is simply a sheet of 5 by 5, and we're going to be using the envelope punch board for that. In fact, that's probably one of the first things we're going to make. You want a scrap of the matching Fresh Fig, and you want a scrap of Whisper White to stamp your sentiment, and then obviously some ribbon as well, but we'll go through that when we get to it. So let me just get started with the envelope for you. Pop those out of the way, grab my envelope punch board. You're going to be making the one that absolutely fits beautifully inside this, is the smallest envelope, which makes a card or your card size. If you were putting a card inside, it would be 2 by 3.5, but we are only just going to make the envelope. I'm not putting a card with it at all because mine was actually made for a gift card to go inside. So all you need is a sheet of 5 by 5. If you've not seen this before, I have done a little tutorial on the envelope punch board, but I'll quickly go through it with you again because it is so simple to do and so easy to use. It tells you here, there's a little guide on here for you. It gives you your paper size, and then it also gives you a score line, and this score line we start off at 2. So you need to pop your DSP and just line it up with the 2 mark and punch and score. Then we turn it around, and then you can see this little score guide here. Actually, there's an arrow pointing to it, and we just want to match the score guide up with our line, our score line that we made. So let's just pop it in there, and we punch and we score, and we turn it around, match up again, punch and score, turn it around, punch and score. Simple as that. I'm just going to round off some corners. I like my corners to be rounded, so I'm just going to round off the two larger ones. There we go. Just trying not to get my head in the way. Let's pop that in there. Okay, punch that again. We need to just brush those out of the way. Use our bone folder. Quickly burnish these. Like so. Use that for the top. Okay, and then I like to use fast fuse. So grab your fast fuse and pop a little bit on. Like that, and then a little bit on there as well. Okay, and then simply fold it up like that, and there you go. Cute little envelope. Now we're not going to seal it down because obviously you put your gift card in there, and all we're going to do with this one, as we've done with the other ones, is tie it with a little bit of ribbon. This is gorgeous, this ribbon actually. It's just a sheer ribbon, whisper white. It's lovely. I'd use it. In fact, I've nearly finished. I need to get some more. Use it for absolutely everything. Just chop a little bit off. And then tie this up. So, pillar boxes are absolutely beautiful. I know they're normally used for Christmas, but to be honest, I wanted to demonstrate that you can use them for anything. You can use them for birthdays, for Christmas, just as a present. They're lovely, and they're great for jewellery as well, and any little items. But I think what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be doing a couple of Christmas items shortly, and I will actually show you how I would make a bigger pillar box. So that's a little envelope done. The next thing we're going to do is the template that we're going to use to actually make our pillar box. Now it really is very, very simple to do. You need a piece of cardboard. Honestly, this can be anything. This can be from a cereal box. It doesn't really matter. And you need to cut it at 2 3/4 by 1 inch. When you've done that, you just need to mark halfway points on either side. So the halfway point on the long side is actually 1 3/8, and the halfway point is 1/2 inch. So you just need to mark your points and then draw a square. I've actually done that just to save a little bit of time. So it looks like that. And you can use this, once you've got this template, you can use it over and over again, and you will fly through making as many pillar boxes as you like. And the way I've got, basically what you want to do is find something round. I just used a saucer, to be honest. And what you want to do is, let me just get my paper piercer and show you. This, you want to match up this point, and this point. So you want to get a saucer or anything round, doesn't really matter what it is, and you want to be looking at just drawing and matching up those points. Now I did that earlier. I needed to get my head right over, so I didn't want to block the camera, so I did that earlier. But as you can see, that's all I did, used a saucer, drew around it. Put that to one side, and then you need to cut it out. Now, you don't have to be super accurate, you know, just cut round. It works every single time I've done this. It's fab. Now, the reason I've drawn the cross, I just use it as a guide to make sure that I've got it straight. That's all it's there for, but I found it really, really useful. Do with a rubber. If you have a rubber, rub it out. Mine's somewhere else, over there somewhere. But just rub that mark out so you're just left with the cross. Okay, so the next thing we need to do, we'll just pop that to one side for a moment, just get rid of those bits. And I'm going to make up bring this in here, and we'll do a bit of scoring to make our pillow box. Okay, and really quick and easy. You want to be scoring at 2 3/4. It's just 2 scores, 2 3/4 by 5.5. Okay, that's all we're doing. That's all you need to do. Really quick and simple. So if you were doing several of these, you'd do all the scoring at the same time. Fold and burnish. Fold and burnish. Okay, so we have that. Now, this is where we need to grab our template. Where's my pencil? Disappeared over there. Mind you, I might not be able to see this very well. I might have to use my white. In fact, I might do actually. A white pencil somewhere. No, that's disappeared as well. Okay, we'll go with this. Hopefully I can see it. But all we are doing here is lining up these edges. Make sure that's lined up there, this is lined up there, and that's more or less to the top. And then we use our cross as a guide as well, just to make sure everything's straight. It doesn't have to be super accurate. It's worked every single time for me. So all we need to do, get your pencil, draw around, and we're going to be cutting that out. Turn it around. That's straight, that's straight, that looks about straight to me. There we go. Pop that to one side. We're going to need that again in a minute. So then you need to cut round. I can see it, just about see it on this fresh fig paper. It really is lovely. I love this colour. Really love it. It's my favourite. Yeah, you don't need to spend ages cutting it out. That looks about right. And yeah, just about see it there. Okay, get rid of that. Now we need to bring our template in again, and you need your scoring tool now, and you also need sort of like any sort of like foam mat, anything that's a little bit spongy, just that has a little bit of give with it. So we need to use our template again, use the finer point of your scoring tool, and then just again use your cross, use your sides as well, just to line it up. And the secret with this is to make sure that your score lines start right in the corners and you get a really lovely crisp box. It really is spot on. So make sure you just score it a few times. I want a good, don't rip it obviously, but you want to be scoring like that on all 4 sides. Okay. Okay, give it a good old score. Believe me, when you're making a few, you can just rattle through these. Don't take any time at all. Especially when you haven't got to consider the camera that's above. Okay, last one. Okay, that's that for now. Okay, so let's just pop that to one side as well. Okay, the next thing we need to do is fold it out, and we just need to cut this little triangle off. We don't need that, so just take quite a wedge off. Really don't need it, and we'll get in the way when you're folding it up together. So just get rid of those. And now we need to just pop it together, and the best thing to use to pop it together is tear tape. So unfold it, tear some tear tape. Now you want to get right up to the score line. The closer you get, the better fit you get. Not too sure that's that close. I'm going to do this from a distance. Okay, and then just cut those off. These really are really easy to make, but if you do have a big shot, then those thinlet dies are really cute. I'm not too sure actually, because I don't have the set myself. I don't know the final size, but I think it's pretty similar. I think this might be a touch bigger than the one in the catalogue, but I'm not certain because I don't have it. So I always use my, in fact I use my paper piercer for so many things other than paper piercing. So many uses. Right, okay. And then we just line this up. It fits together beautifully. And then now the next thing we want to do is create our little holes, little cutouts, and I'll show you why in a minute why we need these. Now I'm using the 1-inch circle punch. This punch I use for so many things. It is an essential item, and you can just do this by eye. So you're going to pop it into the middle, just do it by eye, just think, yeah, that's about right, make sure it's centered, no need to fuss about with it, and punch. And then you want to do exactly the same on the other end, on the same side, pop it in and punch. There we go. So then this box is nearly made actually. So we just want to manipulate your score lines. It should go together really simply. It tend to just, because if you, depending on how well you've scored it, it depends on how well. Sometimes they just pop in actually, but you can just give it a little bit of help. It should just automatically go around like that, and it is doing. No bother, and just make sure that it goes around like that, and then pop your other side in. Like that. I find it just pops in really easy, and then you can see how it's really taking shape. And so beautiful. The corners here just fit absolutely beautifully. So the next thing we want to do, fold it flat. I pop my little, I'll show you how the envelope fits in. Fits in absolutely perfectly in there, really good size. And I've just grabbed myself a little bit of ribbon. Just cut a little bit off here. I'm just going to tie a knot. I'm not tying a bow, at this stage anyway. And I've put my little envelope in just to give it a little bit more weight, so when I'm tying this I can get the knot quite tight. It just finishes it off actually. Yeah. There we go. It looks quite nice like that actually. In fact, you could have a little bit more and just tie yourself a bow without a sentiment if you wanted to. That's really nice. But just trim those off. I'm actually going to put a sentiment over it, so make sure that's in the middle. Again, just do it by eye. So the next thing we're going to do is use get your scrap of Whisper White. There's there. As I said, the stamp set we're using is in Merry Little Labels, and I've actually chosen this one just for you because it can be used for anything. The other ones are more Christmassy. I mean, this one's just absolutely beautiful. Can't wait to use this. But I just thought maybe for a birthday or just as a gift, just for you. Fresh fig, put that to one side. Fresh fig, ink. Again, because we're punching out, it doesn't have to be straight, which is great for me because I don't often get things very straight. Punch, not punch, stamp rather. There we go. Put that to one side, that to one side, and then the punch. I've got a scrap of fresh fig card there as well. To try actually. I'm going to punch out 2 of these. Now it's up to you. I'm just going to leave that to dry so I don't want to smudge it. If you want, you can just punch 1 and cut it in half. I tend to punch 2 and glue them together. It gives you a little bit, it makes my little sentiment a bit sturdier as well. So I'm just going to glue these together. Tombow actually is the best thing for this. I'm using so many different glues today, aren't I? I've used Fast Fuse for the envelope. I've used a sticky strip for sticking this together, and this is the best thing for sticking your label together, and that is because you can pop it on and it gives you, before it dries off, it just gives you quite a few seconds for you to get it straight. And I just want a little bit of a border going all the way around. So that's stuck. And then let's just punch this out. Hopefully it's dried. Sometimes when you stamp and then punch straight away, it can just smudge it a little bit. So I tend to like to leave it for a few seconds. Now I'm punching this, so I've got a little bit more of a gap at the bottom. And that is because I'm just going to tie a little bow and pop it at the bottom. I just thought it finished it off actually when I was playing around with the samples. Just make sure that's straight and punch. And then we can just stick this on the Tombow again. You know, all these different glues do have different purposes, and it's finding out which one is more suitable for the task that you're actually doing. Okay, so let's just pop that on that. Like that. So as you can see, I've just got a little border going all the way around. Now while that's drying, I do like a bit of sparkle. This is not necessary if you don't have it, but and all my others I've just gone around with my Wink of Stella just to add, I don't know whether it's picking it up on camera or not, but let me put it down. But you get a really nice, gorgeous glitter effect that you can see in real life. Okay, that's that done. And then the next thing, one of the last things to do, I'm going to make a little bow and stick it on. Take that out. Still leaving it flat at this moment. It's just a lot easier to put your sentiment on. I'm just going to pop a little bow at the bottom. I did think it finished it off quite nicely. I do like to keep my projects really simple, so quick and simple. I don't have a huge amount of time for crafting. Not making a very good bow here, am I? Oh, there we go. That'll do. So, and I like fast. I like things to be. I like to have projects done and dusted and given away. Same day, to be honest. I'm normally thinking about what to make when I'm going out in the evening, thinking I've got to get something done. Right, okay, so we just want to trim this bow, trim that off, trim that off. Now you can either use glue dots. Tombow would be very good for this, but it'll take a little bit. I probably would use Tombow, but because I would need to wait for it to dry, I'm going to use glue dot. And that's going to go just there. And then my little bow is going to go on there, like that. Dimensionals now. Just need a couple on the back here. Nearly finished. Let's take this backing bit off. And then just pop it in the centre there, and then press down. There we go, it's stuck now. Okay, and then fold one end in. Now when you're actually folding these and putting these together, you want to pop this side in first. The one with the little notch out goes in first, and then that one goes over it. The reason being is when you're going to open it, you can flick that up and then just pop your little finger in there, and that pops out like that. So this will always go in first, and then that over it. That's in case you were wondering. So one side, put your gift card in, pop that in there, some sweets or whatever you want to put in. Flip that down. As you can see, they fold really nicely now. And there you go. There you have it. We are done. And we've got one in each of the in colours, which is just beautiful. Love them all, actually. In fact, I think my favourite is definitely Fresh Fig, and then Lemon Lime Twist. I love that one as well. So there we go, one of each. So that's great. So if you'd like to purchase any of the products I've used today, they're all going to be listed over on my blog, stampingwithsafiandme.com. Just click the shop now button. If you like my video, do like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would love to bring you some projects each week, and that's my aim, actually, to do a project each week for you. And if you have any questions, leave me a comment. I'm really always happy to help if you've got any queries about the template or anything. And also, I do have some of these catalogues, these lovely new seasonal catalogues. So if you'd like one of those, do drop me an email. It only went live on the 1st, which was Friday. Yeah, they've got some fabulous things. I haven't time really now to go and show you everything, but honestly there's some beautiful things, and I will be showing some more projects using a lot of items from here. But I do hope you found that really useful, and you can actually make these without the framelets, but the little stocking's gorgeous. So if you do have a big shot and want to buy that as well, it's there if you find that a lot easier for you. Anyway, thank you very much. Goodbye.